Smart tag is basically some bit of code that is used to insert or pass in relevant field information, either to notification, default field values, or confirmation in WPForms. So in this video, I'm going to take us through all you need to know about smart tag and how to use them in WPForms. So let's get started. So first of all, we're going to begin with the default. So by default, the email notification in WPForms is sent to the email site administrator. And for that, it is represented using the smart tag, the admin email. So to confirm which is the admin email on your site, once you're logged into your WordPress site, go to settings, then general. From there, scroll down to the administration email. For me, this is actually my Gmail for this website. Now that you know, I'm going to open Gmail. Then we're going to confirm on that. I have this form embedded on this page. So I'll say Mike Proto, then test at WPForms.com. It's actually testing, and I'll sign that as a signature, then submit. As soon as I do the submission, I'm going to refresh my inbox. So you'll see that the default is of the site administrator. So that is the first matter. However, sometimes you don't want to send to multiple emails, especially to the user submitting or rather filling the form. To do that, you will need to separate that with a comma, then click on this and click on the available field. You will notice that there is an email field. If you click, you'll notice it has a field ID, then 2. 2 represents the ID of that form, of that forms field. So to confirm, you click on fields, then click on that email. You'll notice under the general settings that the email ID, the field ID of that email is 2. So now that you've seen the format with which smart tags are used, simply fill, then ID equivalent to, then let me just have this as hash, where this is the form, is the field ID, where hash is the field ID. So basically that is actually how to capture values from such field smart tag. However, for the HTML based smart tags, such as the signature field, the file upload, you use the format. This is actually the format that we use for that. Let me show you. If you scroll right here, for HTML processed values, you use the field HTML ID. So the format would be this way. Let me just copy, then I will explain. Come back to the form builder. So I'll use as the description to that field, then equivalent to, then I'll also use the hash, where hash is the field ID. In our case, if you want to capture for signature, it should be number 5. So I'll simply copy this, go to settings. I'm going to remove the old field, or rather, let me just leave it there and say signature. All right, then ID is actually 4 right here. The good thing with this, as soon as you click on this option, you will see all available fields. So if you click on signature, it should come, and it should not really be that of an issue. So after doing that, I'm going to preview that form and fill it again. So Mikey Proton test at gmail.com, testing. I'll do this, then submit. After submitting it, I'll come back to my inbox so that we can check on that. All right, which was expected. So signature is actually empty on this. Let me confirm on something. Fill HTML. I'll come back to the form builder. Let me remove this, then search for signature. Save it. All right. I'm going to remove keep program, then test it. All right. I'll come back right here. So this is it. You'll see that we have this URL with the signature right there. That is the field ID and that. So as mentioned in our guide, what this would do, if you pass in the field ID to that, it will appear notification as a URL. So you can use this smart tag in the email message. That is a field ID and that. Let me confirm something about the ID to a signature. I think that is something that was missing. ID was 5. And initially we had this as 4. Let me confirm. To confirm, yeah, we had it as 4. That is why it was empty. So I'll change that to 5. Then my keep router, test that. Let me just use my personal site for testing that. Okay, then submit again. Then we'll come back to the inbox. You will notice. So this is actually the signature right here with the smart tag. With that said, I'm going to go back to confirmation email message. One of the, by default, to display all field used in WPForms, use the all field smart tag. However, because we are looking into the smart tag, what I'm going to do now is to remove this, and I'll bring field ID equals to 5. Now to pass in the signature field. And for this matter, what I'll do now, I will only remove the other email and just have it send as the signature field. Then submit. Then you go back right here. This is actually it. So you'll see that we have the signature field. Now that we've seen how that works, one of the most important thing about smart tag is that you will be able to capture in details from either the page or posts where your form is embedded. Especially if you are running campaigns and you have forms embedded in multiple pages and you want to know which of your pages bring in leads or other conversion. So to do that, I've already embedded the form on this form page. So this is actually our form. To do that, you can add one of the fields called the hidden field. So this is the hidden field. For this, we want to know the page URL. So we'll go to advanced, click on this, then search page. Right here, you will see that there's the embedded post page title, page URL, and page ID or post ID. For this, we're going to get the page URL. I will save that. Then I'll come back to this page where we have it embedded. Already we know these are page URL, but we want just to confirm. So to confirm, we will go to notification, then we're going to view that entry. You'll see this is the page URL. So that is actually how to capture the page URL. Sometimes you'd want to capture the page title or the page or post ID. So you're going to use the same format. You simply come search for page, either the post or page title, post or page URL, or post or page ID. So that is it. Sometimes now you may want to default the values from your users. For example, if a form has some user access control logged in to it, the easiest way is to use some smart tags from the user registration handle available with Pro or higher license. So to that, we go to advanced. Then for the first name, go to the default value. Then click on this and search for first name. So user first name. For the last name, do the same, but search for last name, user last name. And because now we are passing in the default value, it makes sense to make that as a read only. So we're going to save this, preview. You'll see that the default last is keep router. You can also do the same for the email. You just come right here, go to advanced, and go to the default value, then search for email. For this, you'll have either the site administrator logged in user email. I prefer that. Then make it as read only. I can disable the suggestion. Then you can go to message. You can go to page URL and that. So now that we have these, you'll notice that my keep router, that is the default. If I sign and submit, we expect those values to be passed to the email notification right here. We expect those values to be passed to email notification as well as the entry. So if you go view the entry, then view that, right here you will find it here. So this is my keep router on that and that. And because we are on the preview, the page URL is the form preview URL for that matter. So the advantage is that there are more smart tags in WPForms. And this was actually a baseline to help you get started. But once you get some time, you can go through all our guide on different smart tags that we have right here. This is actually the smart tags, the site name, the user registration, login, and all that. The PDF URL, especially if you're working with the PDF add-on, the PDF link, or rather the PDF links, all those, as well as this guide. So see you next time. So if you have any question, feel free to leave out in the description below. I will be sure to check every comment and respond. Till next time. Thank you.